for sure God's got it. I am all of God. God is all I am. I'm letting go. Now for sure God's got it. What can I do but remember that I'm not alone? Whatever I ask for is here. I can claim as my own. I don't need to worry or fret what the outcome will be, because I know it's already done unto me as I believe. I am all of God. God is all I got. I'm letting go. Now for sure God's got it. I'm changing my worry to love, faith, and trust, knowing God. I open my heart, mind, and soul to love's lightning rod. I don't need to worry or fret what the outcome will be, because I know it's already done unto me as I believe. I am all of God. God is all I am. I'm letting go. Now for sure God's got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Come on, sing with me. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Come on. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Got it. God's got it. Got it. Ooh. Got it. Come on, don't leave me alone. Got it. Come on now. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Sure.
Invite us to really be a part of this idea that God's got it. Not as an external experience, but say it enough so that your subconscious knows that your conscious mind is accepting of it. Does that make sense? God's got it. Got it. Got it. Come on.
Got it.
God's got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. God's got it. Now just continue to allow your mind to sing it to you in the silence. Come on. God's got it. God's got it. Yes. 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 Now just bring that into your heart's awareness. God's got it. Got it. That too. That too. God's got it. Yes. Thank you, Brannis. Thank you. Thank you. Brannis, this is a song for such a time as this. There is so much that we're experiencing in the world. So the news pundits, the news video, and yesterday, it feels like sometimes just at what point are we going to holla uncle? Y'all understand what I mean? It's just like, no, we can take some more. Like there's some more crazy available to us. And my sense is that in this moment, we can acknowledge that that's enough. Like in my household, it didn't take some of us, at least the older daughters of my mother, recognize that there was a moment we could tell by her walk. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Because there'd be a time when my mother would, I was going to say offer a suggestion, but she was really telling us what to do. And we wouldn't necessarily move right away. There wouldn't be necessarily an immediate response. And we knew that it was going to be okay because a lot of times it translated to a suggestion. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't, but she wasn't really that concerned about it, so there wouldn't necessarily be a follow-up. Oh, but baby, there was a moment when she would walk. We could hear on the hardwood floors. There'd be a certain pace and a certain connection with that shoe on the floor, and we knew she meant that thing. And so there would be a scattering going on, to immediately fulfill it. And so I'm wanting that of us. I'm wanting us to hear the footsteps in a way that moves us to respond. And our response needs to be very specific. Our response is not to respond in kind. I don't think you know what I'm talking about here this morning. Look, our response is not a response in kind. So it's not to look at all that is happening in the street, in the world, in Gaza. It's not for us to then think about that and be upset. It's instead to do, as Brannis invited us to do, to know God's got it. Now, this is not denial. Do not confuse this. This is not denial. This is not where one is saying, oh, God's got it, I don't have to do nothing. Oh, yeah, there's something for you to do. The first thing for you to do is to know that God's got it. That's your first thing. But then in your knowing, what does the lyric say? I don't need to worry or fret. Why? Because your worry and fret is not helping the situation. In fact, it's adding a negative vibration. It's adding a hopelessness, a helplessness, energetic to the situation and circumstance. So I feel empowered to say, cut that out, because you're not helping. In fact, you're harming. That energy of worry and fret has us in a downward spiral rather than in an upward spiral of knowing what? Okay, that's a few. Yep, mainly the people right here kind of knew that. So I'm going to try it again. So we're not going to worry and fret because we know. Exactly so. She says, because I know it's already done unto me. What? As I believe. So if I believe in a given moment that this is a helpless, hopeless situation, and so it is for that individual. But for the one who is thinking, God's got this. I don't need to worry and fret, but there's still a role for me. There still is that I must know, that I must be in order to be a part of the divine transformation. Does that make sense? Okay, because I want to talk today a bit about what our role is, and I have some ideas.
I'm just thinking that that thing I shared earlier about, my mother's suggestions. So I'm offering it as an idea, but not really. I just thought I'd clarify. Look, part of the lyric says, I'm letting go now for, and Brannis, this is the way I say it now for show, because I just make it rhyme right there. I know that you, having an awareness of the true pronunciation of the word, you actually say now for sure, but I'm going to say, I'm letting go now for show. And I'm hoping y'all will remember it because I said it that way. I'm letting go now for show. I've been in an environment before where it's been suggested that I let go, but now for show. Now I'm letting go. Why? Because now the stakes are higher. Now I'm saying, okay, that's enough. This is where I'm putting my foot down. Okay, that's enough. I can't take no more. I am not going to act as if I have no power. I'm not going to act as if I don't have something to do with the way the world is unfolding and showing up. I'm not willing to act as if it has nothing to do with me or us. So I'm putting my foot down and I'm saying I'm letting go now for show because God's got it. Now, while God's got it, what is there for me to be about? Look, it's an adventure in faith. And this year, we are focused on our awareness that this stuff works and that we intend to call forth more in 24. Now, I just have to say we have to be very specific because we got more in 24. I'm just not sure that y'all were really staying focused on what the true vision is, what the true intention is, because we let in a lot of mess. We let in a lot of mess. And if we're in the world now, it's our world. And so we have some responsibility for what shows up. We're not at the effect. The world's not doing nothing to us. We are forming the world. Yeah? So we got work to do, yes? Here's what I think we can do. Pardon me. I think that, first of all, one of the things that we are doing at Heart and Soul on Saturday, August 10th, right here, is we are singing our prayers. So there is a tradition for folks of African ancestry of coming together and knowing a thing and then vocalizing that thing. So it's not a song, it is instead giving voice to, vocal vibration to. Does that make sense? So we are going to gather, and let me just say this. There is a West African proverb that says, and I'm just going to say this part of it, that if you can talk, you can sing. We're not going to be in here doing karaoke. So no one is judging. No one is looking to you to carry the note or to create melody. We are instead counting on everyone lifting their voice, their heart voice, and bringing it into the collective voice because we know that therein there is healing. So here's what we're doing very specifically. We are calling this healing while singing 'neath the baobab tree. And the baobab tree is a place of healing. It is known throughout cultures as a spot, an energetic spot for healing. So we're just going to create that metaphorically for ourselves right here. So that's on the second Saturday at 1 p.m. So it's in about a month. On the 10th of August, 1 p.m. to 2:30. So we're going to do an hour and a half right here. Can I just tell you, it's going to be juicy good and transformative. So if you come, you're coming for the transformational power of what we can do together by vision, through vision and intention. So the way that this is, let me tell you what a friend of mine who has lived in Marseille for the past several years. He was with us the weekend at Heart and Soul, the weekend before COVID. So they were on their way back. He brought a group. And the group that he brought of folks from Marseille really give evidence to how this works, because he began just working with them around the healing sounds. And so what they did, they were singing at Heart and Soul, but they were also at a cathedral in the city, and many of us were there. So here's what he and I came up with around this idea, that it's a reclamation of our most powerful spiritual customs uncoded. We are free to remember, meaning to remember, to put back together and to improvise. We are free to replace the lyrics, free to pepper them with our own truths and specific experiences. We are free to sing of and to our ancestors who paid the high price of continuing to live and love, and everybody has ancestors. So we sing out loud. This is key to our healing. When we sing together like this, we heal our past, we heal our present, and we reshape the future. That's our intention and vision for that gathering on August 10th. I want to tell you just a little bit about Martin Grizel, who is going to facilitate it. He's a native of San Francisco Bay Area, who's made Marseille, France, his home for the past 11 years. He's a former seminarian, a minister of music, a Bay Area radio personality, and a journalist. And he's currently working on his second book, Black Expat, The American in Marseille. His quilts are in the permanent collection of the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. He created the Marseille Mixed Gospel Soul Choir shortly after arriving in Marseille. The troupe has since performed throughout the province and also in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that's the group that I was speaking of. So that's one opportunity for us to come together to shift the vibration. Now, this is a special invitation for anybody who's thinking, how is my going to Heart and Soul on Saturday, second Saturday in August, and vocalizing with folks, how's that going to change anything? I need you to know everything you do changes something, baby. Everything, every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take has an impact on you and the planet. Because there is no just solo you, that what you're doing only impacts you. We all up in everything for everybody. Why? Because we're one. You know, it's like we fork our tongue. So on the one hand, we're one, and we're just, ooh, and all that and ain't it nice. And then over here, that don't have nothing to do with me. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It has everything to do with all of us. So you're coming here and being present and participating in lifting your voice. Your voice is a vibration, always. So I know it may not feel like that to you, but if you really think about it, there's no denying it. And what we're looking for is the engagement of the vibration intentionally. Oh, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you tell somebody, because it'll make sense to them. So look, the other option for inclusion and participation is my election intention. So remember, what did the lyrics say? I don't need to worry or fret. So for anybody who's sitting around sweating November in July and doing nothing but sweating, I need you to cut that out. I need you to set an intention to do something with that busy mind other than allow it to just run free, run amok. Yes? So what we're going to do is 100 days of mindful practice. It will begin July 28th. And the way that you can participate is to simply text to this phone number. It's up on the screen, 470-784-0250. And the intention here is for us to tune out the fear and tune in the vision. Yes? So we're saying about the election, but it's really about everything. Get in on this. What will happen is once you do this, you will get the message. So I will be reading one of the message, one I'll be reading a message, and so it will come to folks as a recorded message. Yes? Because you have opted in. It won't come universally. You must opt in. This is a reminder that you must take action in order to fully participate, okay? So there'll be weekly Zoom community check-ins. You'll get that information. It's optional. You may be, I don't have time to do that. I'm going to do this part, but not that part. You pick and choose what you're going to do. I'm just saying to you, as a suggestion, not do something. Do something that moves you from worrying and fretting, from the anxiety of it all. Ain't it awful? No, you won't have time to speak that because you'll be speaking from maybe some of what you got in the recordings, yes? So, look, the airwaves are filled with fear and noise and anxiety closing in from all sides. And while it's important to be informed, you don't want to go crazy with it. So this is where you start putting in your limits and balancing it, yes? Oh, I'm so glad. Usually I don't appreciate looking out at y'all and you on your phones and doing other stuff. I just need to tell you. But right now I'm loving it. Right now I'm absolutely loving it. There's a part of me that's like, yes! So look, we are intentionally cultivating a high vibration, mindfully grounded in spiritual practice for 100 days from July 28th to November 4th. That's the intention of this. For anybody who plays full out, they'll do it for the whole 100 days. But can I tell you something? If you don't do but 5 days, you'll be better off than doing a -5. Yes? So get in where you fit in. Sometimes we say 100 days, and you do the first 10 and you feel good, but then you feel bad. I'm saying don't do no bad feeling. Just get back in there. Get back in there whenever you can. And if you want, you do 200 days. Because everything isn't about the election. That's key. So do 300 days. I mean, do what you need to do in order to transform the planet in your mind. Because that's the first place the transformation must take place, is in you. Is this making sense? Okay. All right. So those two things, you see, we're shifting the vibe. Oh, for anybody who gets in on both, you get it. Oh, come on now. Because you will have already started on the July 28th, and then by August 10th, you come together and you do the vocal vibration aspect of that. And shut up. Okay, look at here. So we are working with 365 days of richer living. That's our daily read. And on the back of the book cover, I don't know that I ever read it before. And if I did, it never mattered to me. I got in the book and there's plenty from cover to cover in there. I just never, somehow this morning, when I picked it up, the way I picked it up, I was looking at the back cover and inadvertently read it. And this is what it says. We are living in a spiritual universe whose sole government is one of harmony. This is why we're shifting our vibration. Because the way life is ordered and designed, it's harmonious. So if we're not experiencing harmony, what do we need to shift? We think we need to shift the world. We need to write to the editor. We need to start a blog. We need to phone in for a podcast or something. No, you need to change your vibration. Shift yours to harmony, because that's the intention here. Every person possesses inherent God power within. And every person can use that power for more successful living. Can I just say that there's enough here to keep you busy? You don't have time to gossip and carry on about what happened in Pennsylvania and other places. You just don't. You know, you could just say, I would talk about that if I had the time and energy, but I don't, because I'm shifting my vibration. And if I talk about that, I will be shifting my vibration in a way I don't choose to. Now, we're not going to act like Gaza is not happening, like that there aren't atrocities in the world. We're not pretending that. We're aware that the way to shift them is to not talk about them as they are now. Now, I can only share with you from the level of my own consciousness. Some of y'all may have the consciousness where you can sit and watch 24-hour news and then talk about it on the hour yourself. And then do your spiritual practice and rise above it. I ain't that girl. I have to monitor mine. So those of you who are advanced, sitting up at home, just able to just say, Rev, I'm way past you, girl. I don't have to do none of that because I can listen all day and I can still go on with your bad self. That's all I can say. Because so many of us cannot afford to do that. If we do that, we'll be depressed. Our lives will take a toll. And our souls will be unhappy and out of harmony, which is the divine picture. It's the divine order and intention. So look, the rest of the lower portion of that says, in Richer Living, Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker offer daily guidance to access that power within. So they're not keeping it secret. Inspirational truths for every day of the year tell you how to access that power. Inspirational truths for every day of the year tell you how to, 1, experience more harmonious relationships. Anybody interested? Free yourself from sickness, poverty, and unhappiness. Anybody interested? Tap into your creativity. Anybody? Achieve calm and peace in the midst of confusion. Like right now. I don't need to worry or fret right now. Let go, let God bring the highest good to all of your affairs. Anybody? Okay, there are a few of us. When you use these daily meditations, you change your thinking. And when you change your thinking, you change your life. So look. That has me, it begs the question for me, why isn't Zoom blowing up every third Monday when the practitioners lead the book study? And I figure it must be because y'all don't know what's in the book. Because if you knew what was in the book, you'd be all up in the book study. Being willing to get just another piece for the depth of it. Not that you can't read it yourself. We know that. But we know the power of the collective. We know the power of community, which is why I'm inviting y'all to come into the sanctuary as well. Make sure that you're well. And if you know you're well, come in, because there's something about, well, y'all tell me, is there something about the energetic in the room? Yeah, you're not here because you lost your internet access. And I just need y'all to know at home, I know some of y'all are at a distance. Some of y'all not commuting from Costa Rica on Sunday mornings. I know that, and I'm okay. So you know, it has to be how it has to be. But there's some of y'all in Oakland, and not that far from here as well, who would benefit greatly from the energy, the energetic presence in the room. We know we could do the vocal. We know that we could be neath the baobab tree on Zoom, but we know it would be very different. If we had to do that, we would. We don't have to do that, though, anymore. So I'm inviting you to get in here and contribute to the energy and allow others to benefit from your presence as well. Yes? Y'all help me out in telling them. Yeah, so they know that people, I could be pretending that y'all are here in the room, but I'm not. So say something. All right. Yes. So that book study is set up, the intention of it is to help us go deeper, to help us make certain we're understanding what it is and that we get the full benefit of getting in there. I'm suggesting you be there tomorrow. Get in there tomorrow. I talked last week about, I quoted from It Works, which is the little booklet that's our advanced reading for summer school this year. And this notion about getting what you want. Some of us try to make that like mysterious and uncertain, and we don't know how. It's known how. We often are just not willing to do what it takes. For a variety of reasons, the main one, I would say, if this was Family Feud, where you put the reasons in order, I would see the main one is our sense of undeservedness. We have a sense that we don't deserve to have exactly what we want. And part of this practice, this philosophy, is to support us in healing that erroneous thought. Yes? Okay, I probably hit a nerve. That's often the case when it goes silent like that. Folks can't even respond to the question anymore. So look, Ernest Holmes says in The Way It Works that in our ignorance of the truth that we misuse the highest power that we possess. So as I start thinking about this message, let me say this. Today's reading in Richer Living, 365 Days for Richer Living, is about faith. And here's what it says. It says, faith is more than an objective statement. We do not have perfect faith while any subjective contradictions deny the affirmation of our lips. So it's saying one thing, doing another. So faith is always congruent. The way you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing, all line up. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, because that's important. So Holmes and Barker say this is what the Bible means when it says we must know in our heart, because heart symbolizes the innermost center of the being. When the intellect is no longer contradicted by our emotional reactions. Should I just assign inside out? Should I just assign it? Don't run, go see 2 yet. Review 1. Review Pixar's Inside Out. Because frankly, that's what it'll help you understand this. It's the truth. I can't help it. So when the intellect no longer is contradicted by our emotional, so it's when the heart and the mind agree. The thing can't happen while you're at odds. So you're thinking, I am desirous of more prosperity. Or wellness. Let's say health and wellness. This is a big one for folks. My thought is, I could beat this. I don't have to name something, high blood pressure, indigestion, diabetes, whatever it is. You now are of a mind, this isn't how I want to live my life. But then within there's a feeling of, this is just the way it is. There's a feeling of, I can't do anymore. There's nothing, but you got to get those two in agreement. Can you see that there's no forward motion while you have that conflict going? Yes, I can, no, I can't. Yes, I can, no, I can't. You drill yourself in more deeply. It could sound like you're in a neutral position, no harm, no foul. Nothing could be further from the truth. Because what you're doing is really picture yourself as a drill. You're really drilling yourself into this consciousness of, yes, I can, no, I can't. The idea is to move from there, and the only way to move is by agreement. Oh, yes. And see one. That's the only assignment. Let's be really clear. Just see the first one. It's available on a number of platforms, and it may cost you $3.99 or something, but pay. It's worth it. It's worth it. A group of you split the $3.99. Look at here. When the intellect is no longer contradicted by our emotional reactions, by unconscious doubts and fears, then the word of our mouth will immediately bear fruit. I have a sense that each and every one of us has had that happen at some point. And if you're not clear about how the world gets to be the way it is and the power you have, that feels like magic. It feels just like, the universe spun in a different way, like something out of, never mind. It just spun in a different way, and you ended up with what you wanted. And you're shocked. You and everybody that knows you is shocked. You can replicate that when you bring your mind into agreement, your mind and your heart. What you say you want and the true vibration of your heart's desire. Does that make sense? Yes. What question do you have about that? Even at home, put it in the chat real quick, though, because I'm already out here. Time-wise, I mean. So, move. If you have a question, put it in the chat. They'll holler it out or bring it to me or something. Any in the room? Because this is an essential piece of this. Understanding this. This is not, I've been places where it's said and we all kind of agree, and then we get out and we go, what? What did that mean? And most of us are like, we don't know. We was hoping somebody would ask. All right. Cool. All right. So look, I'm going to do this. I caught on, and I didn't catch it, I chose to watch on Netflix a documentary, six-part documentary called Sprint. And one, I love track and field. Two, I have practiced enough in my life that I can see principle in almost everything. I would say everything, but I don't want to be quizzed. I don't want no pop quiz after the service. So I'm going to say almost everything to save you the trouble. So look, in this documentary covers 7 elite athletes. So these are the folks who are vying for the title of the fastest human. So this isn't everybody that runs. This is the 7 people who have a chance of winning that. Yes? So what I noticed about this is just in a few instances, some of the runners helped me to see how I could share it with you, because sometimes it's easier. Like, for example, I find that athletes, I find that often contractors, sometimes scientists, depending upon the specific discipline, the specific emphasis for a specialization for science, can really get this practice, this philosophy, just like it just makes such sense because it's aligned with what they do. And so I think athletes in particular, because they often have to go beyond, elite athletes, because they have to go beyond what most of us think the body can do. They have already engaged the body beyond what we think is even possible, particularly for continuous practice. I'm not talking about the fluke where you were able to jump so high. I mean where they can hire you because you jumps that high all the time, and the next time you break that record by jumping even higher. You know, not the 2-3 baskets you got at James Kinney Park. But where you hit you hit a 3-shot on the regular. You see what I'm saying? Who does that? Well, there are a lot. Once somebody does it, you can bet somebody's coming up to do it. And what we saw in this documentary were the folks who were coming up to get it. Once you break that record, everybody's gunning for you. That record is now available as a... Y'all better ask somebody. You don't understand. Look here. Once we demonstrate that it's doable, think the master teacher, Yeshua. Yes? Think the master teacher who is demonstrating, who is modeling certain behavior. That if I live a certain way, if I say it in a certain way, meaning from a certain place and awareness, that the thing. So here's what I'm saying is that once you see the model, once you see that it can be done, what? It's very much a part of African American history. And part of the history was to make sure folks couldn't do it, so folks couldn't see it being done. Because once it, for all immigrant folks, all folks who came from somewhere else, got here to see, what? I can do that? I couldn't do that back from where I came from. Now, what's different are people like my ancestry who were trafficked here. The ones who didn't just get up and say, I want to go there. But the folks who were brought, that was kind of secreted. It was that we don't want them to read because once that would just, Because the practice, the principle is, once it's done, you realize you can do it. Come on, Mother Harriet, that's why you're here. It's because you are a representation that it can be done. That freedom is available for any one of us who is willing to be and do what's required to experience it. Y'all don't hear me? Oh, okay, so look, even with the sprinters, we get this. I'm going to move fast through this, as I can. Look, so Elaine Thompson, now there are a lot of Jamaicans in here. Said our resident Jamaican. So look, so Elaine is a 6-time Olympic medalist. This is what I mean. We're talking about the elite athletes already have the record. But they're gunning for another one, if you understand what I mean. She said, if I'm pain-free, I feel unbeatable. Each of us has to put the bar somewhere. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You must weigh in what it is for you. So for that next doctor's appointment, you got to put the bar somewhere before you go in there and sit down. You can't sit down with the surgeon and let him lay it out. Do you understand what I mean by that? I'm not asking you to be kind of. I'm asking you for you to take responsibility for you. Your first visit to the doctor is never to the surgeon. You've already been through some texts. You done had some tests. You've been to the lab. There's a lot that has gone on. At the point that you have an appointment with the surgeon, you must go with an awareness of what is it for you. What does she say? If I'm pain-free, I feel unbeatable. That's hers. I'm not saying that's for you, but there's something that she knows that she set up for herself. She says, I expect this level to continue to rise because the ladies are starting to believe the unbelievable. Elaine, you better help us out with this. There's a scene where we see her in her home, and she says, this is my book. In this book, I write all the things I think and know I can do. And then she let us see that she wrote, I am the best. I am a winner. I will be the best female sprinter of all time. Because look, if she don't know it, it won't be known. Can you feel the importance of what you are bringing to it? Look, that Thomas Trord quote that I've shared with you, it's longer than I'm going to go into, but the first line is, my mind is a center of divine operation. If you can just get that part, my mind is a center of divine operation. That's a consciousness. That's what I call a come from point. Do y'all understand a come from? It's your jumping off point. It's your point of awareness. She knows and says that there's a level at which she is unbeatable. That's her jump off point. What's yours as you go for the interview? As you talk to the people about the outcomes that you want, what idea are you taking in there as your come from point? I got to remind you, practitioners are standing by. Call away, text away, email away. Get support, because you might realize, oh my goodness, my come from is I can't. You don't have to stay there, though. You must realize it, or you're just what? Or you have the mental and emotional out of whack. So you got to realize, oh my goodness, I'm standing where I start everything is I don't think I can do that. Now, if that's okay with you, then go on with your bad self. But if it's not okay with you, then get some support. Yes? Okay. All right. Noah Lyles. Okay, I'm going to have to assign this viewing. Because Noah Lyles, there are those of us who listen. I'm scanning for age here. Many of us remember when Cassius Clay, I beg your pardon, when Cassius Clay showed up and he was in everybody's face. I'm the greatest, he's pretty, he's all the things. And there were some of us who were like, I need you to tone that down some. Because that's how we are ordered. That's how we are ordered. You're doing too much, Cassius. Just go on in the ring and fight, but just hush. Well, Noah Lyles is the new Cassius Clay in track. And dare I say, Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali proved that everything he said was pretty true. He's mighty pretty man. And could beat up pretty much everybody. So we there's a point at which you just go on and say what you want to say about it, Muhammad Ali. And that's how I felt watching Noah. At first I was like, I'm going to need you to tone it. And I thought, baby, go on. Go on with that. Say what's so, the way you need to say what's so for you. Don't do it the way I need you to do it, because I'm not running. I can't help. I'm not going to be a sponsor. None of the things that he has racked up. So we saw him just tearing up the track. But it was all preceded with, I'm getting ready to go out here and win. I hope you're getting this. I'm not inviting you to get out on the track. I am inviting you onto the metaphorical track of your life, where you are in competition with you. That's a thing that everybody made clear. Now, we see them in competition in the blocks with everybody, but we hear them against their best self. I don't have time to do the whole thing here, but okay. I can tell you one more, yeah? Okay. Sha'Carri Richardson. Oh, baby. She said, I am ready mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I'm here to stay. I'm not back, I'm better. Now, we get to see her in the news, what do they call the little conferences after? So you've run? The press conference thing. And she'd lost. She'd lost the race, and so now she's back. And when they wanted to ask her about, but yeah, before, she's like, I don't want to talk about that. And I was like, but this is the press conference. You know, I got my mind. I'm like, you got to. But she was like, I don't even like that you brought it up. And I was like, well, yeah, I hear you. I hear you, because what the invitation was, Mr. Media Person, was to leave this empowered place where you sit right now and get right on down up into the lower experience of it. Now, there may be a point where she has worked that out and she's like, oh yeah, let me tell you about that. But she wasn't, and she knew not to talk about it. So I'm not talking about her in track, I'm talking about you with the surgeon. You see, I'm talking about you at the child care place. I'm talking about you with your landlord. I'm talking about you with your family. I'm talking about you and how you see you and how invested you are in ensuring that you are standing in an empowered place no matter what. Val, I don't know if you, I'm not even sure if you were in the car with me and my mother and your eldest son was in the back seat. And he'd done something. And so we're riding. I'm in the front seat with my mother driving. And I kept turning back to, like, bring that up. And there was a point at which the little fella just said, I'm not talking about that anymore. And I thought, oh, I don't blame you, because we weren't going nowhere with it. I was just, and you know better. And that was pretty much all I was saying, just variations on you knew better. And he finally had good sense enough to say, I'm not talking about that anymore. Go on with that. You have to know for you. You have to know for you, because people will try to tell you know better. And you are to stand in what it is for you. And that's what we got to see with her. And this is what we find in the 365 Days for Richer Living for last Sunday. Part of what it says is, be yourself today, regardless of what happened yesterday. Yes? So I have some other stuff, but you know what? I can hear the bells tolling from here right now. Look, all I want to remind you is that your mind is a center of divine operation. Engage it in that way. Engage your mind as if you know it's a center of divine operation, and use it accordingly. Sometimes we use the divine center of operation as if it's a switch that we can just get ourselves with. You know you didn't do. You know you shoulda. You know you shouldn't have. It's a center of divine operation. Engage it accordingly. Yeah? Ooh, I am so far out of time, y'all. Or I would stay and talk some more, but y'all don't have no sleeping bags. Y'all don't have nothing that would. So, Brannis McKenzie, if you would come and start playing, then I will take that as my cue to get off of here. That would be a wonderful thing. Thank you. Your mind is a center of divine operation. Say that, please. My mind is a center of divine operation. Thank you.
I will follow love with my heart and soul. I will give my life to the way that I must go. I will hold your hand, and our fears will hide with a mighty love. Only peace will find. Love saved me. Love raised me. With a holy view, I'll know what to do. Love is born anew. Love saved me. Love raised me. With a holy view, I'll know what to do. Love is born anew. I will follow love with my heart and soul. I will give my life to the way that I must go. I will hold your hand, and our fears will hide with a mighty love. Only peace will find. Love saved me. Love raised me with a holy view. I'll know what to do. Love is born